Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to this edition of Real Talk here on Shelbyville Now. I'm David Thomas, and with me is Mr. Bo Gill.
Yes, it is.
All right,
Hello.
and we want to thank our sponsor today, Norris Plumbing, for all your plumbing needs here in Shelbyville and Bedford County, and probably outside of Bedford County. If you're listening outside, I'm sure Jay'd come and take care of you. He's one of the good guys around that can handle your plumbing needs. And before we dive in today, let's hear a word from him, and we'll be right back.
Plumbing, your go-to source for licensed and insured plumbing services. Hour emergency services when you need it. Norris Plumbing, call us at 931-703-5915.
All righty, welcome back in here to Real Talk. Bo, there's a lot of stuff going on, and of course the big talk around and the big news story for the past week and a half now has been the situation with Farm Credit and the lawsuit they have against Nearest Green, Uncle Nearest Distillery.
Right. That's right.
And we're expecting an update just any day from this judge. It could go any of several different ways, but people are expecting him to name a receiver,
right, to
pick up the reins with that.
Yeah. I think he said 2 weeks, but it could be any day, like you said.
Yeah, he over the weekend on Friday night, he signed an order to basically put a gag order on things and put a lockdown on all assets of the company. That's a sign that a receiver's probably coming.
Well, it didn't help that Miss Weaver wasn't there. I don't think that helped things, not showing up
making posts on Facebook about it, which you really don't need to do that.
If you're looking for any type of good look or anything, that's something you don't do. But anyways, there is no update, really. There's really nothing to talk about.
Nothing at this moment, but it could happen at any time.
It sure could.
But we got our ears to the railroad tracks listening for whatever's coming on that, and we will break it here.
Yes, we will.
We will be right on top of it if we have any updates there. And then, Bo, I want to talk about a lot of people travel. The horse show's coming up. We're, a couple weeks away?
Oh, yeah.
People are going to start coming into town, and then there's going to be people leaving town, especially when their kids get out of school to go to Florida.
Oh, yeah. And
everybody needs to pay attention because this Sunday, we're supposed to have a hurricane coming in. Hurricane Aaron, first name storm to affect the United States of the year. It's probably going to sideswipe the eastern seaboard, and we got our eyes on it because it could slow down and hit into the next week after this coming week.
Yeah.
Or it could speed up and hit sooner, but their target is Monday and Tuesday. Sunday and Monday, the upcoming Sunday and Monday. And if you're going to that side, there could be some damage and some beach erosion and stuff like that if you're planning a trip over on that side. I think the Gulf Coast is probably going to be safe. Far. Yeah, but just keep your eyes on it because that washing up in the Gulf, it can cause erosion and stuff and create some damage there. So if you're going down there, keep your eye on it. I don't think you're in danger of getting caught in the storm because it should be out of the way before then. But it's something to keep an eye on.
And then here in Shelbyville, we get affected when a lot of times when those hurricanes come through, we get a lot of rain. And
we're going to get a little backlash coming in.
We'll see a little difference there. But it's hard to predict at these levels. But it's way out there. But soon it's coming close.
Yeah, it's like 2,100 miles away from the Antilles Islands, which that's several days away. But we got to keep an eye on it.
We want to keep people informed.
Yeah, and of course Elijah Kirby will be with Shelbyville Weather, and I'm sure he's got his eyes on this too because it doesn't just affect people on the eastern seaboard, because we got people that are going to be traveling in those directions. So keep your eye on it. All right, Bo, they're talking about the horse show. There's going to be some changes this year, and we talked about this. The VFW is not going to be there.
That's right.
But the Grindstone Cowboy is going to be there in the old VFW building.
That's right.
They have been working a few horse shows, a few events that have taken place there. I saw a copy of the menu, and it's a basic concession stand type menu with their twist on it. The choices are not going to be as lengthy as what VFW had, but they're going to be just the basic stuff.
They'll get there. Well, they were at the fair.
Well,
they were at the fair too.
Yeah.
They weren't open every night, but they're there. Look, I'm glad that someone that's good real estate at the celebration grounds. It's right there, right out of the gates. So But I'm sure it'll be some good eating there. The donuts will be back. I mean,
they're going to get cranking up, and I've seen comments on Facebook, and I've had people talk to me, ask me if I was ready for the donuts, and I said, "Who's not ready for the donuts?"
Yeah, I know.
All right, but after you had a box of them, you got to take a little break.
Well, you do. I know. I just can't help but to over endure in those type of.
Now, I don't know who's in charge over there, but Brent Pewitt has always been doing it. So I'm sure he's working right now.
Yeah.
And they've got a website, not a website, but a Facebook page, and they keep people up to date. So
they do.
The Optimus Club Famous Donuts or something like that.
It's important. This is important stuff.
Yeah. It's like, so if you're from out of town and you just moved here and you haven't had an Optimus Club donut, that's something you have to experience.
You got to. There's no way you can live in Shelbyville without that experience. Whether you like it or not, that doesn't matter. You're going to love it, but you need the experience.
Yep. All right, so you can't be on a diet for the next 3 weeks.
That's right.
All right.
That's all.
And, of course, school's back in gear, Bo.
Yes.
All the little ones, the kindergartners and everything, they're back in full force now. And we've got it seems like things have gone smooth so far. I hadn't heard of any problems.
I haven't either. I mean, round of applause to the school board and to all the teachers and to all those involved, the volunteers.
Yeah, all of our administrators.
This is it takes parents, it takes all of us. This is when we all get in gear. I've seen the morning traffic now. It seems to be flowing good. Buses are going. Yeah. I know Kenny Parker's got it held down there at the bus garage. I mean, but the schools are we've got Liberty School that has their new addition that has been completed and it is occupied. I know Thomas Magnet School has their addition that, as far as I know, is occupied. And so we've got no portables. Maybe I don't think any portables.
I think Southside's still got maybe a couple.
But I mean that's great. I'm glad to see that we've got permanent structures for our kids to be in as we talk about these storms that could happen as we get tornadoes here. But yeah, it has been going. SROs. I mean let me tell you something. The SROs are really making connections with these kids. I mean, I see it in every school. I mean, they're not looked at as they're looked at with respect, but they're not just off limits. Right. They can be talked to, and I think that they create strong bonds with these SROs, and they're a big link that helps all this go right. Yeah, we got football going on.
Yeah, and speaking of that, we had the community coach, Mr. Tidwell, Coach Tidwell, Glenn Tidwell, from community, and he gave us a little preview look at the community Vikings for the upcoming year. This is his first year. They're changing a lot of things. They've changed their offense, their defense. They've got 38 kids out, and we're going to have a coaches show that will announce exactly when that's going to start up, but it's going to be on Monday evenings. Right after we do this show, I'm sure we'll probably hop on with him and get updates on what's going on with community football, talk about the games upcoming and the games we've had. So that's something to look forward to. We got
it's an exciting time of year.
I got a sponsor for that, and maybe 2 sponsors. We're not sure yet, but that's going to happen. We're anxious to see that. Let's look at some news briefs across the country and the world. But before we do that, let's take a break and hear from Norris Plumbing. Jay Norris and his family have been in the plumbing business for years. It's a multi-generational business.
Decades.
And they know what they're doing. So if you have any plumbing needs, give them a call. Let's hear from them, and we'll be right back.
Plumbing, your go-to source for licensed and insured plumbing services. Emergency services when you need it. Norris Plumbing. Call us at 931-703-5915.
Alrighty, thanks for listening to the message from Norris Plumbing. That was a very important message because they're the best around. If you have any plumbing needs, any emergencies, give them a call. They're 24/7.
24/7. Remember 24/7. That. Norris Plumbing.
All right. Before we get into our global and U.S. news, we're just going to go over a few headlines. But I want to talk about a situation that we have within our school system. We were just talking about school getting started. There are 2 schools that have been suffering. Okay, and our school system, our administration is really put in a predicament. We have two schools, elementary schools, that are overwhelmingly English as second language. In other words, we have a lot of Hispanic students in these two schools. And when you go to judge a school by a test, and those tests are taken by kids that don't understand the test, you're going to come back with some bad results. And I don't know how other counties do it, and I don't know what the answer is, but it seems like that our county is in desperate need for an academy or a school tailored for Hispanics, and that people that don't speak English,
and
it's not to get them caught up to speed.
And it's not for any other reason than for that what you said. It's the language. It's for communication. You know, that's the number one thing between us humans, right? And when you can't communicate, that is a problem. And especially if you're a teacher and you're getting judged or getting graded.
Well, let's look at the whole situation here. You've got teachers that are put in a position where they don't have enough translators.
Right.
Then you have a teacher that has to slow down and work with a child that can't speak English well. That slows down the classwork for everybody.
Yes.
That puts the entire school at a disadvantage when you're 50% in that capacity. We got two schools that are their grades are suffering from the standpoint of how they grade the schools.
Right.
I mean, you get a D or an F, and the state starts looking at that school. Well, the state has got to look at the situation here.
Yes.
And I know that our administrators are trying to figure out a plan. And I'm just wondering, think about the child that's sitting there. Let's think about sending your child to a foreign country, Bo, and they don't know the language, but they're thrown in a school where the language is that, and there's very little help for your child.
No, I would feel helpless. I mean, it's not a position I would want to be in. But I like your idea as some type of academy that could get the ball rolling and get them to where they can kind of, I guess, just work into the school.
I would think you would have some sort of elementary academy to where, and maybe even a whole K through 12, I don't know what you call it, but academy to help them get acclimated to the language.
There needs to be a training for that, because that right there is the number one problem. It distracts the students. The students that don't know the language themselves are taking tests that they can't read because, they don't know the language, or that they have difficulty in reading. So that right there it does a disservice to that student and the students around them.
Right.
And I believe that would be a great solution. Now, I mean, should there be some language requirements before you enter this country? Yes, and I believe there is. But I believe that in some cases, the kids get here at no fault of their own,
let me tell you something,
illegally, and that's what happens.
Exactly. When parents bring their kids over and they're not going through the proper process, those kids and that family is put at a disadvantage because they hadn't followed the process. First of all, they're undocumented, and they got to deal with that situation. Then you got kids that are coming into our school system that can't speak the language. What it does, it puts a bad mark on our county school system at no fault of the school system.
No,
so the county school system is being judged, and all counties that are in our region, I'm sure there's situations like this all across the state.
Yeah.
The state of Tennessee's got to come up with some solutions to help our counties deal with this problem instead of penalizing.
And it's not an issue of segregation. It's an issue of language, of getting on, being an American. It's not, it's there could be other nationalities in this. This is anybody. This is just a language thing.
Right.
We want to be able to communicate, to take tests thoroughly. It helps you socially all the way around. I mean, you would be socially isolated if you didn't know the language. You couldn't make friends. You couldn't do the small things. So I think that, I would hate to know that the taxpayer, this would be a taxpayer funded type initiative. It sounds almost like another community thing. But I know
it's going to have to be because it's education.
And I know that there are some Hispanics around here or bilingual people that are helping. But that's not in a case by case basis.
To get that, you got to have certified teachers.
Yes.
For it to be the legitimate thing, and it's hard to find. I know Dr. Garrett was talking a couple of years ago, and last year, it's so hard to find somebody to even be a translator to do both language bilingual.
It is.
So we've got a problem.
Yeah.
Okay.
We do.
And nobody wants to talk about it publicly, but I'm going to throw it out there and say this is real talk. I mean, this is an issue, and it's not anybody's fault except parents come over illegally and they put their children in that position, those children are innocent.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
They're here.
They're here.
They got to learn.
That's
okay.
Right.
And we've got to come up with a solution for that problem. And then I know our laws are going to be changing for immigration, legal immigration, and the path to citizenship.
Yes.
I'm sure it's going to be reformed.
Yes.
But that's something we can't deal with at the local level. That's a federal situation. But we can look for ways. And I think our Board of Education needs help from the state in some fashion. And I don't know what the answer is.
They need help, maybe community members, like I said earlier. It almost is at a point where it needs to start in the neighborhood, where somebody comes by the house and does lessons every day. We're friends of families that know each other that come by to even get a foot up. I mean, almost you need to learn the language no matter how. But
it's not going to happen overnight.
No, it's not. But you know what? I think that this is going to be a problem that we'll see less and less of if the illegal immigration does tamp down, does kind of go away like it should if we have more a different way of citizenship. But I believe this is going to be a problem that is with us now, that it's going to be several years before.
Here's the way I'm seeing this thing play out. We got a lot of people that have come here over the years that have planted their families here, and they're productive citizens wherever, all over the country.
I know a lot of them.
There's a lot of folks that have planted, and they consider themselves to be Americans, but yet they still don't have a citizenship card.
Yes, that's right.
All right. Now, before, there's been a big debate on amnesty and allowing people that have come across the border illegally to be classified as citizens. There's got to be a way to do this the right way to help the folks that are really here and are productive, and they want to be a U.S. citizen.
And I know I've shared this with you, and I don't know if this is y'all's first time watching, but I've done that. I've had a friend that lives here in town that our family did vouch for him. He didn't have to go anywhere. He had been here for years. He was a productive citizen, but he didn't have that ID. We were part of another family. It took a few other, citizens to, kind of say, yes, we know this. We're vouching for him, and he is an American citizen at this point. And I have ran into some that are not in the last 6 months, and I've referred them to him to try to get help. There is a way to do it. I think it'll change and get easier. I don't know how hard it was for him. I know it took a while, but I know that one thing is when he became an American citizen, he brought a cake by our house, and we enjoyed it. He was so happy, and that's great.
So everybody out there, do you have any thoughts on this? Do you think that our education system is like bogged down because of this unfortunate set of circumstances that we find ourselves? Because there's two schools right now in Bedford County that are being looked down upon by our state, and basically saying you got to get the scores up. Well, you can't get the scores up if you can't read the test when you're taking it. So I don't know what the answer is.
They're helping. They're trying. In the office at one of the county schools, they have 2 lanes, and one of them's Spanish and one of them's English. They're doing the best they can.
Yeah. Well, there's a lot of thoughts out there on it, and I know our Bedford County school administrators and our school board, they are like up against the wall on this and backed in a corner and don't know exactly what to do. Maybe there's stuff that's going to come out and help. But anyway, let's move on now to some headlines. Washington, D.C., it's in the news. Donald Trump has federalized the D.C. police.
They don't like
deployed National Guard, FBI, U.S. Marshals, and they've got 800 National Guard members there. And the mayor of D.C. is pushing back and don't want help. And they're blowing each other up there.
And they wonder what the problem is. When somebody wants to come in and help clean up a town, yet the mayor says no, there's your problem right there. You've got a political group of people that want chaos in that city.
This is all about politics, too.
Yes, it is.
If it was a Democrat, and she's a Democrat, if it's a Democrat suggested, it'd be fine.
Yeah,
but because it's a Republican, it's no. This gets me to something right now, Bo. We were talking about who's running for this and who's running for that, and I'm sorry, I made a statement. I'm the 2-party system has failed this country because we're at just at odds right now, left and right, left against right, left against right.
You couldn't say it.
You can't even have a conversation now. And I've been a strong person on the right, But honestly, I'm disgusted with most of the Republican senators and congressmen and representatives that we have that don't stand on conservatives. And I'm disgusted with the ones on the left that are liberal that won't even stand on anything. It's just like all over the place.
No, it's like that they pledge their allegiance to the Republican Party or to the Democratic Party. They're not thinking as Americans, and to be held inside those parties, it limits you to be an American because they want you to think and be loyal to that party. Look, the party system is broken; it needs fixed, but that's what we're in right now. But yes, I challenge everyone to be an independent, think for themselves. You can be who you are, and that's an American with an opinion that likes the rule of law, that likes to go by the Constitution, and that is for, just like the Constitution says, the right of. I wish Paul Engle was here; he says it so much better.
Right.
But just to live in our life of freedom, with limited government. I don't get this how far it's gotten, this Republican Democrat stuff. It's just, if you put a R on you, you're all of a sudden on there.
I wish, and this is, the Democrats are all over the place right now. They're fighting and everything.
Oh, yeah.
The Republicans need to back out of whatever they say I'm going to fall. That's dangerous. You got to step back and really look at what's going on here. Analyze this from a common sense location, and you'll see these guys are off the chain.
And I think that's very hard for them to do. It's easy for me to sit here and speak about this, and maybe but it doesn't seem too hard to maybe sit back and self-reflect on your values and put the United States and the nation of laws ahead of special interest or special little republic, this and that. I'm done with it too, David.
I'm getting to the point to where I don't even like talking about politics.
But I'm glad that Trump, look, this is a problem here. They can politicize all they want. There's crime and destruction going on in Washington, D.C., and it has been for a long time. He's sick of it. Yeah. And I'm hoping, and I'm probably pretty sure that the federal government, the U.S. Marshals or whoever, will go in there, clean it up.
Well, they need to arrest some people, and it goes down to the judicial system. If they arrest people and throw them in jail, if they're just going to be turned loose, that system is broke. Yes. Some people are going to have to start being locked up. Now, if that means building more prisons, I guess we got to build more prisons. I don't know, Bo.
They're protesting. I heard on the radio a protest. I'm like, what are
they don't want law and order.
Are you protesting?
No, they're protesting Trump because it's him.
But if they need the police, I guarantee you they're going to call the police. I don't get that.
This goes back to this defund the police garbage. It was so circulating.
They don't know what they're protesting.
Let's move on from that. We've got a lot of economic news coming out this week. That tomorrow there's a lot of reports coming out, and of course this is going to be one of these things that it's going to turn into a political tennis match. If the certain numbers come out a certain way, it's Trump's going to get mad at the people that put them out. Who's he going to fire this week? And then the Democrats, if they come out good, the Democrats and the people on the left are going to say, well, that can't be right. Trump is bad. He's the devil. It's just ridiculous.
You predicted it. It just matters. We just wait on the outcome. That's what's going to happen.
That's what's going to happen. So, all right. So Al Jazeera had 5 reporters, journalists killed in Gaza from an Israeli airstrike at a hospital. Okay.
Israel strikes again.
Benjamin Netanyahu has said things behind closed doors that has basically told everybody, we're going to occupy Gaza, the Gaza Strip. We're going to occupy it. So that means they're going to take it over. Now, my question, Bo, is, first of all, the humanitarian disaster that's taking place here, when is the United States going to try to get the reins and say, hey, guys, y'all got to pull back on this thing and stop it?
I think that it's almost shocking that this is happening to this level now, to where I think, we need to stop it right now, but we're almost shaking. It's almost so surprising that this is really, well, not surprising, but it's just shocking that these terrible humanitarian crises or war on just innocent people are happening. I would think that we would step in, yesterday or today, whenever it would happen, but it's almost like, what's next? Can we do anything?
Yeah.
Should we do anything? Of course we don't want this to happen, but
we were starting to see people now come out and protest. In London, there's 500 people arrested for protesting against this, because what happened, there were 1,400 Palestinians that were injured or killed in these food runs where they bring them in. And we've reported on this 3 or 4 times. Well, it's happened again. They have a distribution center. The people go in, and then Israeli forces will shoot tank mortars at them.
That is
and attack them. Okay, this is turning into genocide.
This is sickening. That right there is sickening. That is there's no need for any type of that destruction I mean, that's destruction of humanitarian. I mean, that's putting out food for them. Let's let everybody understand that. And then people shooting while they're getting the food.
It's like baiting a deer.
Yeah, basically like that. That's what it reminds me of.
It's terrible.
Well, right. I don't know. I mean, is it going to stop? I mean, we get on the phone. We try to do peace deals. You know, we try to help with these deals like no, ceasefire. Does anything work? I mean, do we just need to just build
I think if we would just say we're not going to back this anymore, we're not going to send any more money until y'all stop.
Yeah, and no sides. I mean, you can say on the other side or the Jewish side, there's no sides. This is a human side. This is a good versus evil, I believe, right? Yeah. I don't know. It's awful there.
Yeah, it is bad. All right, so we also have Zelensky is conferring with a lot of leaders from Europe, and supposedly Trump's going to be on this Zoom call. They're going to talk about their game plan when he sits down with Putin this week.
Yes.
To talk about a possible ceasefire. Zelensky says he's not giving up any land. Putin says he's not going to stop unless they give up some land, and Trump's sitting in the middle trying to dictate what's going on, and he's going to try to come up with a plan that neither one of them's going to like.
Look, let's not confuse anything. Putin wants Ukraine. He don't want half. He don't want quarter. He wants it all. I mean, that's his ultimate plan. But, and then you've got Zelensky on the other side fighting for his country. I mean,
is he?
Well, that's so he's supposed to be. Let's just say we'll put a figureheads there. That's what's supposed to be happening.
So what does he just keep on and keep on and keep on until they're all dead?
I don't know. Apparently, that's what they want to do. Like I mentioned here, and Trump mentioned this morning in his speech, he said, Russia is a very could be a great nation. They're wealthy with their land. They've got wonderful resources and everything. But over the years, it started with Napoleon and probably before Napoleon. And then World War II, they were a nation of warriors. They want to be at war when they could thrive on the economic level, on the trade level, so much. Their people could thrive, but they've just been held back by war through centuries.
And what does that war do for certain people?
It enables them to keep warring.
And they're making a ton of money.
Yeah, they are. They know
Putin supposedly, off the books, is the richest man in the world.
And I wouldn't doubt that one bit, because he is the ultimate warrior. He's probably been in some type of war in some form or fashion his whole life.
Right. So he's conquering. He's like
looting.
He loots a lot of stuff. All right.
So tariffs mean nothing to that.
All right. Man. So do you think Russia's going to stop?
No.
I don't either.
No.
I think he's going to do it till they get up to the river. If they go to the river, they might stop there.
They might. They might. But there's going to be a future where there'll be another war to come for that. They cannot stay peaceful. They cannot use the great country they have. I mean, they do use some things, but it doesn't prosper like it really could. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, they're warriors. So that's what I think. I think that the war will continue. I think Trump will try. He tries to get a deal, but that's their country. That's their country.
Right.
They need to take care of their own. I mean,
so what does Europe do when they see there's not going to be an agreement? We're headed for a collision course. Yeah. Who's going to stop? If Russia just keeps on, who's going to stop?
The armaments right now in Russia, in Europe, are building at this moment at a massive, massive scale.
Does the United States try to stop it? Is that where we're going to end up? Because they can't do it. Europe can't do anything without us.
It looks like World War II. They'll start and they'll try, and then we'll wait a couple of years. Then they'll try something on us, and then we'll go.
It's headed for something bad,
and I hope it doesn't. I hope we're just speculating too much, and we are speculating.
Yeah.
But it's we learn a lot from history. Yeah. And then when we talk about what Russia's history is, they're warriors. They conquer and get conquered, but most of the time they conquer because everybody gets stuck in their mud.
Yeah.
But no, I don't foresee any type of peace there. I just think that there's going to be blood spilt until who knows when.
Yeah. All right. Over the weekend, Bo, I was reading a report, and it was basically talking about the food service industry, which this is completely changing gears. We're going to end on this. Yeah. There are 15 major restaurants that we all know the names of that are in financial problem that are probably going to fold between now and the end of the year or into early 2026, and some of them are local. And of course, a lot of these are franchises, and some of them will hang on, and some of them won't. One of them was Chili's. We have a Chili's here.
Mm-hmm.
Red Lobster. Tullahoma has Red Lobster. Red Lobster loses $5 every time a customer walks in the door and leaves. The ticket is an average of $5 loss because of increased cost of ingredients, increased labor, increased insurance, you name it. It's just everything's increasing, so they're not making any money. Subway, also Boston Market, Outback Steakhouse. We're talking about some big names here, Bo. So this is a trend that's taking place in the food service industry, and you're seeing prices shoot through the roof already. What's going to happen when these people finally figure out we're not charging enough, and they go up to the point to where it closes them anyway?
Well, I mean, that's what's
Are they fighting a losing battle?
I think so. I think they're fighting the battle with right now because we're having to buy groceries too. I mean, it's either pick what you want to eat. Do you want to be an out and go out and eat person, or do you want to go to the grocery store? Because they're both getting almost the same price. But no, I think that this is real. This is going to happen. It's the effect of the tariffs that are coming. Of course, from Mexico. I think it'll get even worse. I mean, it seems like
the prices are not going to go down. The price of beef is going through the roof.
Yes, it is.
Have you noticed that?
Yes.
My wife bought 2 chicken breasts the other day, and they cost over $11 for 2 chicken breasts.
Yeah, it is gone crazy, just like everything else. But I mean, do you see anything getting better?
No, and I see the general public getting dumb as a rock. Listen to this. All right, no offense to anybody, not y'all.
Not y'all.
Talking about y'all.
Nobody watching.
But I had somebody that does door dashing today tell me this morning he took a cup of coffee from Dunkin' Donuts, a cup of coffee to close to bell buckle, and the fee for him taking it was $11.50, not counting the coffee. All right,
so we're talking.
Who is doing that, and where's their brain?
They don't have one. First of all, it's probably a kid that's asking their mom to get it to them or something.
A cup of coffee, though?
Well, maybe not that. But let me tell you something. It's somebody that really wants it bad. But how can that sustain? I mean, maybe I would never even think about doing it. I would want the pleasant driving.
The fact that people are paying $5, $6, $7, $8 for coffee with some sugar in it,
and it's already inflated.
That's blowing my mind.
These prices on these food services online. The prices, you don't get any meal deals or anything. It's all, but you get premium prices.
I know people that line up every day to get this stuff. Okay, and I aggravate Josh. He comes on every Saturday morning for the weekend wrap up. Oh, he goes to Southern Cup and he gets him a drink.
He's a self-admitted coffee snob.
He admits it. and I agitate him about paying that much for coffee, but he does it with Southern Cup, a local business.
He does.
All right, and he does it once a week.
Yeah,
all right, I can see that.
Yeah,
I occasionally, maybe once a month, I go and I pay $6 for a cup of coffee.
Yeah, but not with a $30 delivery charge.
But the fact we've got a Starbucks coming. Yeah. Is Bedford County that rich?
Look,
I'm looking at the demographics, and I just don't see it, Bo.
I don't see it at all. I don't see one Starbucks, let alone one Starbucks plus 2 others and another one and a third one and a fourth one.
Well, we got Dunkin'. We got Southern Cup. We've got
Seven Brew.
Then we got Dutch Brothers.
Yep.
And we've got our own, some other local coffee shops, Coffee Beans
Break.
and Coffee Break. And then we've got
Dos Bros. Did you say Dos Bros?
No, they serve coffee.
Dutch Bros. I get that wrong
Dutch
every
Brothers.
time.
But then we got Starbucks,
yes.
the big Starbucks coming. Bedford County must be rich, and it's not showing up on the demographics.
Yeah, we're rich. We can start saying it now. Look, we got all them coffee shops. We know we've got it made here. We're rich.
Guys,
I don't get it.
I want to ask people out there. Tell me, do y'all pay $6, $7, $8 for a cup of coffee every day? I see people lining up every day to do this. How do they afford that?
I don't know. They're lined up, and I can't do. And I like just regular black coffee. I'm pretty easy, simple guy. But that right there is just. Seems way too much.
Joe brings up a point. Groceries has been going up for the last 5 years.
Yeah, I mean,
after COVID, this started going crazy.
Oh, yes.
Wait till the tariffs from Mexico hit. Oh. Your tomatoes, Joe, you're going to have to raise your own tomatoes.
Yep. Everybody's going to have their own.
You ain't
going
to be able to go in there and pay for them things. No. It's going to be like a $6 cup of coffee.
It will. And
I'm happy with my 39-cent coffee that I make.
The farmers market here has been booming lately because people are starting to grow their own things and then sell it for the return.
Yeah. So the tariffs are going to affect our produce.
Yes,
and that's going to affect. I don't know what's
going to affect our weight.
There's got to be somebody out there that can tell me why the prices of beef is going through the roof. I think the cost of just slaughter, there's a shortage. There's a lot of things going on with that. Yes. And then chicken, I don't know what's going on with that, but everything is just going up.
I would think of all things that chicken and pork wouldn't, but they have. Chicken especially. Beef has always been
all right,
premium.
So Brenda Gregory said yes from Southern Cup. Are you going every day, Brenda? She said she saved a lot before retirement. Okay.
That's a great excuse.
Okay, she's blowing her retirement on coffee.
That's okay. And she wants to. That's what she can do.
I'm not going to do it, Bo.
You don't have to do it.
I've got my own little
But Brenda can do it, and she is going to do it, and she loves her Southern Cup. And you know what? But I'm with you, David. I still don't see how they're all going to sustain. All the coffee shops that we have are going to sustain. I am thinking that they can't, but I might be wrong. I've been wrong a couple of times before in my life, so I wouldn't be surprised. But it's like I'm thinking the same way as you, and maybe I'm wrong. Maybe the younger generation are supporting these.
Maybe they're making $300,000 a year. I don't know. It's not showing up in our demographics, though.
No, it's not. I don't.
If we were making that kind of money, we would have steakhouses and shopping malls and all kinds of stuff coming here. They'd be wanting to take our money.
They would be. I would agree with
Starbucks. That. I don't get it.
We like our $7. That's the target, I guess. $7 or $8 when you go out.
They
want to spend it on coffee instead of maybe putting it back or something like that. I don't know.
Let's take a break, and we're going to come back and we're going to wind things down. But before we do, we're going to hear from our sponsor, Norris Plumbing, for all your plumbing needs here in Shelbyville and Bedford County. We'll be right back.
Norris Plumbing, your go-to source for licensed and insured plumbing services. Emergency services when you need it. Norris Plumbing. Call us at 931-703-5915.
All righty, welcome back in here to Real Talk here on Shelbyville Now. We've been all over the place today, Bo. We've talked about local stuff. We've talked about national stuff. I'm going to end up and just thank everybody for watching today. Yeah. We've had some good comments. And hopefully we'll have more participation. Let's see. Tamara's coming in there and she's saying beef is affected. I read by a certain invasive tick makes them and humans ill. Okay. Brenda says she said they don't drink or smoke and can't travel due to health issues, so I treat myself. Good idea.
That's a very good idea.
No drinking, no smoking, so you drink coffee. There you go.
That's right. That's kind
of what I do.
That's her vice.
But we get this Dunkin' coffee at the grocery store.
Yeah.
We grind it. Yeah. Okay. That's fancy. But it's costing me 39 cents to fill this up.
Well, you have to put in a little labor. It's good. It's good for you, David. It's good.
I know it. Well, my wife does it. It's waiting on me. So I've got a pot here in my office, and I'm going to fill this up. I kind of sip on it all day long. So I love coffee, but I'm not paying $6.50.
No, that's
$7. I'm not going to do it.
I would drink just like you do.
And we're going to end on that. And invite you to come back this Thursday.
Yes, we'll be here.
Same time.
Yes.
Right around 4-ish.
Right around 4-ish o'clock. And hey, who knows what we're going to talk about? We're going to talk about what's real talk.
I think that between now and then, we're going to have some breaking news.
Well, they might happen.
On the Uncle Near situation. So y'all be ready for that.
Yeah, be standing by.
Yeah, we'll be on. Josh will be on top of that.
Yes,
and let us know as soon as possible. He'll probably want to come on and give everybody an update when that happens. Until then, y'all have a great evening, and we'll see you again soon.